Hello and welcome to the Solubility table lab. So I have all my cations up here and I have all my anions up here. So I'm going to start with this is barium chloride. Okay. So barium chloride. I'm going to mix it with sodium chloride. So I added 5 drops of barium chloride to 5 drops of sodium chloride. Barium chloride and sodium chloride solution looks clear. Solution looks clear. This is barium chloride and sodium chloride. Now I'm taking barium chloride and sodium bromide. Okay, so again I see the solution is kind of still clear. It appears a little brown to me, but still clear. So I don't see any solid, I don't see any precipitate. So this is for barium chloride and sodium bromide. The third one, I'm using barium chloride and sodium iodide. Okay, so again, clear, so no reaction. Again, barium chloride, sodium carbonate. Okay, I see a white precipitate, white solid at the bottom. Okay, so I will let it sit for a few minutes and then we will clearly see the solid at the bottom and the clear solution on top. So this is a solid. Barium chloride, sodium hydroxide. It looks slightly cloudy to me, but it did not, I don't see any solid form. So maybe slightly insoluble, but it did not form a solid. So that's barium chloride and sodium hydroxide. I'm adding sodium nitrate to it, sodium nitrate to barium chloride. Okay. So solution is clear, nothing happened. Next, add sodium acetate to it. Sodium acetate. Again, solution is clear, clear solution. So we are adding sodium phosphate next, sodium phosphate. Okay, so sodium phosphate is giving me a white solid, white solid. Sodium phosphate and barium chloride gave me white solid, white solid. The last one I have is sodium sulfate. Okay. Again with the barium chloride, the sodium sulfate gave me a white solid, white solid. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add calcium chloride to all of my anion solutions. First one, I'm going to add calcium chloride and sodium chloride. So 5 drops of calcium chloride, 5 drops of sodium chloride. Okay. You can see clear solution, clear solution. Now add sodium bromide, sodium bromide. So clear solution. Calcium chloride and sodium bromide gave again clear solutions, clear solution. Going to use sodium iodide next. Take 5 drops of calcium chloride. Five drops of calcium chloride, and then sodium iodide. 5 drops of sodium iodide. Nothing happened. Clear solution. I use sodium carbonate. 5 drops of calcium chloride. Five drops of sodium carbonate. You can clearly see the white solid form. White solid forms. Going to add sodium hydroxide next. Sodium hydroxide. Five drops of calcium chloride. 5 drops of sodium hydroxide. And the solution appears a little cloudy, but it does not give me a precipitate. Okay. So appears a little cloudy. We'll use sodium nitrate next. Sodium nitrate. Five drops of calcium chloride. 5 drops of sodium nitrate. Solution is clear, nothing happened. Clear solution. Going to use sodium acetate next. Sodium acetate. Take 5 drops of calcium chloride. And 5 drops of sodium acetate. Solution is clear, nothing happened. We'll use sodium phosphate next. Sodium phosphate. So 5 drops of calcium chloride. Five drops of sodium phosphate. Okay, so I get some Okay, so it's like a gluey substance, and it's white in color, with sodium phosphate. The last one, we are going to use sodium sulfate. So 5 drops of calcium chloride, 5 drops of sodium sulfate, nothing seems to happen. Alright, next we are going to use lithium chloride. Lithium is my cation, and I'm going to add it to my anions. So 5 drops of lithium chloride, 5 drops of sodium chloride. Solution is clear, no reaction. Five drops of lithium chloride, 5 drops of sodium bromide. Again, solution is clear. We'll be using sodium iodide next. 5 drops of lithium chloride, 5 drops of sodium iodide. Solution stays clear. We'll be using sodium carbonate next. 5 drops of lithium chloride, 5 drops of sodium carbonate. Solution stays clear. The next we are using sodium hydroxide, 5 drops of lithium chloride, 5 drops of sodium hydroxide. Solution stays clear, nothing happens, no reaction. We'll be using sodium nitrate next. 5 drops of lithium chloride, 5 drops of sodium nitrate. Nothing happens. Solution is clear, no reaction. 5 drops of lithium chloride. We'll be using sodium acetate next, acetate as an anion. No reaction. Solution is clear. using sodium phosphate next. 5 drops of lithium chloride, 5 drops of sodium phosphate, solution stays clear, no reaction. The last anion we are going to test is the sulfate, so we are using sodium sulfate. So 5 drops of lithium chloride, 5 drops of sodium sulfate, nothing happened, no reaction. So when we use lithium as a cation with all the anions, we saw no reaction in any of them. All right, so using potassium chloride, potassium cation next. So 5 drops of potassium chloride, 5 drops of sodium chloride, solution stays clear. Five drops of potassium chloride, 5 drops of, we are using bromide next, 5 drops of sodium bromide, solution stays clear. Going to use sodium iodide next, 5 drops of potassium chloride, 5 drops of sodium iodide, solution stays clear, no reaction. Five drops of potassium chloride, 'Going to use the sodium carbonate next, 5 drops of sodium carbonate, no reaction, solution remains clear. Five drops of potassium chloride, going to use sodium hydroxide next, sodium hydroxide, 5 drops of sodium hydroxide, solution stays clear, no reaction. Potassium chloride, 5 drops, adding nitrate solution, 5 drops, solution stays clear, clear solution, no reaction. Five drops of potassium chloride, going to have acetate next, acetate, 5 drops of sodium acetate, clear solution, no reaction, solution is clear. Five drops of potassium chloride, add Phosphate next, sodium phosphate. Solution stays clear, no reaction. Last one we have is sulfate. So take potassium chloride, add sodium sulfate to it, solution stays clear, no reaction. So as with lithium, potassium also gave no reaction to any anions we tested. Alright, so we are going to test sodium cation next, and we already did lithium and potassium, and we did not observe anything. And we know that lithium, sodium, potassium are in the same group, so you guys should be able to predict what happens with sodium, okay, because they are in the same group as lithium and lithium and potassium did not give any reaction, right? So let's see what happens. So sodium chloride is clear solution, right? So add 5 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Add 5 drops of sodium chloride to it. Solution is clear, clear solution, no reaction. I take 5 drops of sodium chloride. Add sodium bromide to it, 5 drops. So solution is clear, no reaction. Five drops of sodium chloride. Add sodium iodide to it, 5 drops. Nothing happened, no reaction. Five drops of sodium chloride to get sodium cation. Use carbonate anion, carbonate 5 drops. Solution is clear, no reaction. Take 5 drops of sodium chloride. Add hydroxide to it, 5 drops. So nothing happened, clear solution, no reaction. Five drops of sodium chloride to get sodium cation. Add nitrate anion. So we can see the solution is clear, no reaction. 5 drops of sodium chloride. Add the acetate anion. Solution appears clear, clear solution, no reaction. Take sodium ion or sodium cation using sodium chloride. Take phosphate anion using sodium phosphate. Clear solution. Solution is clear, no reaction. Take sodium cation using sodium chloride. Take sulfate anion using sodium sulfate. Mix together. Solution is clear, no reaction. So as you see, as with lithium, sodium, potassium, they did not give any solid with any anion. So their salts are always soluble. So that's the rule for solubility. Group 1 metal salts are always soluble. Alright, so going to use copper cation next. As you can see, copper nitrate. So copper nitrate appears blue in color, this solution, right? The salt is blue in color. So I will take the copper cation and add all these anions to it. Add sodium chloride to the copper. Okay, so I see a touch of, so solution is slightly sky blue color, but I don't see any precipitate. Okay, so basically we can say that this is soluble. So copper chloride solution that we get after mixing. So I don't see any solid. So this is, we can say no reaction. So take copper nitrate. Okay. So solution is fairly slightly sky blue, but I do not see any solid. So fairly we can say no reaction. So I have copper solution. I'm adding sodium iodide. Okay, so I see a brownish solution. I'll let it sit for a while and see if this is a solid forms at the bottom. So this is copper nitrate and sodium iodide. So let's add sodium carbonate. Alright, so I can see a yellow, blue precipitate form. So with carbonate definitely forms a precipitate, blue colored precipitate. Let's mix copper to nitrate with sodium hydroxide. So if I add more hydroxide, okay, so looks like I see some kind of cloudy precipitate, okay? Cloudy blue precipitate, that's what I can see. So I would say there's a reaction, so it forms some kind of blue precipitate. So let's add nitrate to it, nitrate to copper. Okay. So I didn't see any precipitate, slightly the solution is slightly blue color, but no precipitate, so no reaction. Let's add acetate to it, acetate. Okay. So slightly blue color solution, but it did not form any precipitate. So I say no reaction. The color is due to the copper ion. Next one, add phosphate. Okay, so I can definitely see a precipitate form. So this is not soluble, so there's a reaction going on. I'd say sky blue precipitate. Last one, copper nitrate and sodium sulfate. Let's add sodium sulfate to it. Nothing happened, so no reaction. Solution is clear. Those are the reactions for copper cation with these anions that we have. So now let's look at the aluminum. So we are doing the aluminum. I have aluminum nitrate. I'm going to add the aluminum with the other the anions. So aluminum with the chloride. So let's see what happens. Solution stays clear. So aluminum and chloride solution, no reaction. And the bromide solution, let's see what happens. So solution stays clear, no reaction. Aluminum and iodide. So solution still stays clear, no reaction. Aluminum, and then let's add carbonate to it. Okay, so I see a white precipitate form. So aluminum reacted with carbonate to form a white precipitate. So reaction definitely white precipitate. aluminum with the hydroxide. So let's see what happens. Yes, I see a slight cloudy. Okay. So it's slightly insoluble. I would say slightly insoluble. So it looks a little bit cloudy, but not as much. So slightly soluble or slightly insoluble. Aluminum with, let's say, nitrate. So nothing happens, solution stayed clear. Aluminum and nitrate, nothing happened. Let's say aluminum and acetate. Aluminum and acetate, solution stays clear, nothing happens. Let's look at aluminum and phosphate. Okay, so aluminum and phosphate reacted and gave us a white precipitate. White precipitate, there's a reaction, white PPT. The last one, aluminum and sulfate. Aluminum and sulfate gave no reaction, no reaction. Solution stays clear, stays clear. So those are the reactions for aluminum, and we have 2 more to go. All right, so next we are going to see the reaction of silver nitrate with all of these anions. So silver nitrate appears clear to me. So add chloride to it. I see a white solid form. So that's the silver chloride. It does not dissolve, insoluble. So there's a white precipitate. Let's add bromide to it. Again, silver bromide is also white. I see white solid form. Okay, so white solid. Let's add iodide to it. So silver iodide appears to be a yellow precipitate. So silver reacts with iodide also to give a precipitate, yellow color precipitate. So let's add carbonate to silver. Again, I see a white solid, it reacts, white solid as a precipitate. Let's react aluminum with hydroxide. I mean silver with hydroxide, not aluminum. Silver with hydroxide. Okay, so silver hydroxide is this grayish or muddy looking. It looks like a muddy solution to me. So grayish or gray brownish precipitate. So that's the hydroxide of silver. Silver so far has given us the precipitate for each one, right? About let's look at silver, and I'm adding nitrate to it. Okay, silver nitrate is colorless, no reaction. Silver and nitrate, no reaction. So after nitrate, we go to acetate. So let's react silver with acetate and see what happens. Silver and acetate solution is clear, nothing happened, no reaction. Let's react silver now with phosphate. It gave us a yellow solid, yellow precipitate, yellow precipitate. Silver and phosphate, a yellow precipitate. The last one we have is silver reacting with sulfate. So I have silver, I'm going to react the silver with sulfate. So silver and sulfate did not react, no reaction, clear solution. So that's the reaction for our silver, and we have the last one, iron, and we'll do that in a few minutes. All right, so last one we are going to do is use the iron 2 cation and react with the other anion. So let's start with iron 2. Iron 2 chloride, as you can see here, iron 2 chloride is brownish colored solution. So I'm going to add sodium chloride to it. Okay. So I don't see any precipitate, so the solution initially was brownish in color. So this solution, by adding the sodium chloride, also appeared brown. Okay. So there's no precipitate, so I'll say no reaction. Let's take iron 2 chloride. And let's add the bromide to it. Again, the original solution was brown, and this solution is also brown. I don't see any solid formation, so I'll say no reaction. Iron 2 chloride, and then sodium iodide. So let's add iodide to it. Again, iodide also, I don't see any precipitate. And that's not a good background either. So the solution appears brownish in color. Let's look at the background. So I don't see any precipitate, so the solution did not react. Let's add iron and carbonate. All right, so this time I can see a precipitate. I see a kind of light greenish precipitate. So it looks like there's a precipitate with carbonate. So iron to carbonate is a precipitate reacted with carbonate. Let's react the iron with hydroxide. Okay, so I'm making the same kind of precipitate, so greenish precipitate. So it reacted with hydroxide also. So let's react iron to chloride with nitrate next. Okay, so original color solution was blue, was brown. So this is also brown. So I don't see any precipitate, so I would say no reaction. Iron and acetate, so let's add acetate to it. Again, by adding the acetate, I don't see any change in the precipitate. I don't see any precipitate. I see that the solution is just dilute. It was brown to begin with. It's still brown, so no change, no reaction. All right, now let's do iron and phosphate. Iron and the phosphate. Okay, yeah, this time it's giving us the precipitate. So it's like something like looks like a muddy precipitate to me. So iron reacted with phosphate, gave a precipitate. And the last one we have is the iron to chloride reacting with the sulfate. So I don't see any reaction. So by adding, the solution is retained, the color is retained, and I don't see any precipitate, so no reaction. So that pretty much wraps up the lab. So please fill out the lab using the so record your observations and then draw a conclusion. So that's it for this solubility table lab. So bye-bye.